Hi everyone, so in today's video we're gonna talk about 2XKO Alpha, the good and the bad, and if overall was an enjoyable experience or not. First of all, for the people that doesn't know me, I'm a fighting game streamer, meaning that I play and played a lot of different fighting games. The reason why I mention this is because one means I have an experience in the subject, even though I have to say that tag team fighting games are not fighting games that I played much, so this review will be of someone that plays a lot of fighting games, but not really a tag team fighting games player. So we have to take that in consideration because maybe there is some mechanic in the game that is normal in other tag team fighting games, but since I don't play them much, I'm like, I don't like this, for example. So yeah. And two, because follow me on Twitch if you like fighting games. I stream every day and I'm probably streaming to SKO right now by the time you're watching this. Okay, so there's a lot of things that I want to talk about, even though I'm a fighting game player and the thing that I care the most is the gameplay, honestly. But we're gonna talk about briefly about some other things. First of all, we're gonna talk about the visuals of the game. How does the game look? Personally, I love the art style of this game a lot. The character looks incredible, their animations look incredible, their specials, their normals, their supers, they really look very cool. A thing that I wanted to talk about that is important, but at the same time I wanted to talk about it very briefly is the tutorial. I feel like the tutorial is just way too basic compared to what you can actually do in the game. But honestly, I saw a video that they actually posted in the 2XKO channel that they actually addressed this and said that they agreed that the tutorial is way too basic. So they're gonna make it better for the official release, I suppose, or maybe for another beta that we're gonna be able to play. So yeah, it's not it's something that they already know and they're gonna fix, but I just wanted to say it. The soundtrack. I really want to talk about this because the soundtrack to me is like a 10 out of 10. Like, generally, I think it's really good. And it gives a lot of hype to the match. Okay, so the lobbies. The lobby is like nothing special personally, and the avatar that you make is also nothing special. It's very generic. The cool thing that the lobby has, I guess, is the fact that when you're on a win streak, you're like in flames literally. And if you got like a 10 win streak or more, you're gonna have like you're literally your avatar is literally a Dragon Ball character, like for real. So I think those little things are very cool. They were pretty well, but again, I think the style and everything is pretty generic, so I don't have much to say about the lobbies. I think they work and they are okay. Okay, so let's talk about the netcode. Personally, I think the netcode is pretty good. I think Street Fighter 6 currently has the best netcode in the modern fighting games era. And I have the feeling that this game, since it's a Riot's game, it will have like a really good netcode. Okay, so now it's time to talk about the actual important thing, which is the gameplay. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about the gameplay is that if it's friendly or not for new fighting game players. I think it's okay, just okay. I don't think it's insanely friendly to new players. In this game, you have the auto combos. You choose the fuse that is auto combos, and you can just do auto combos by mashing. You can play Darius and get carried by Darius. So yeah, basically I think it has features that are friendly for the new fighting game players or for someone that never played a fighting game before, but I don't think it's like that great, honestly. An important topic to talk about the gameplay is actually the fuses. We have a lot of different fuses that you can choose, and that will affect your team, of course, and also how you play the game and your team. Why I think the fuses is like a cool mechanic is because, yeah, at the end of the day, the game, like any other fighting game, will have a meta, meaning that, for example, if you want to play Brown, maybe people already discover who is the best teammate for him and the best fuse for him, but that is a thing that happens in all the fighting games. The important thing here is that it allows you to do very different combinations, not just with the characters but also the fuses, and they also change how you play the team, so I think it's a really cool mechanic. So moving on, how does the game feel? Personally, I've been playing since the day 2 of the alpha, and the game feels pretty good. The movement, the characters. So yeah, even if you play a character that is super slow or super fast, both of them feel great. Okay, so this topic, everybody has been talking about this. The long combos are actually annoying. It's a fighting game that is actually insanely oppressive, and it has very bad defensive mechanics. Personally, I think the long combos are really cool, and they're pretty fun. And to be honest, they require a lot of high execution. I feel like it's not super easy for you to do a long combo. So yeah, I don't dislike the long combos honestly, because the game has a lot of defensive mechanics. I'm not a fighting game player that likes the fact that a fighting game transforms, or the meta of the game is just a one-touch game. For example, Guilty Gear Strive is a big example of this. The first day that I saw people posting combos on Twitter, I was a little bit scared, because I was like, oh my god, there's combos that can literally kill one of your characters. So I was very scared, but when I actually played the game, that didn't feel like a thing, because you have a lot of defensive mechanics. You have the wake up option, a defensive mechanic that is pretty good, because that's a little bit of damage and you push the opponent away. You have the parry that it could allow you to have a full combo. You have the forward dash that is a really cool mechanic, because it's like you make the opponent whiff and then you punish them. And you also have the six dash, which it allows you to, it's like your getaway tool in neutral. So I feel like you have a lot of options, and of course you still can do the classic wake up super, even though this game has 3 supers, but the only one that is actually a wake up option is the level 2. So take that in mind. I personally feel that the long combos in this game, or the high damage, is not an issue, because we have a lot of defensive mechanics. Okay, and actually I'm gonna talk about the notations of this alpha. The thing that everybody has been talking about is the fact that this game, for the specials, they have S1 and S2. But basically, instead of you doing an input, so you get the special, you have to press S1 or S2 in different directions, and you're gonna get different specials. Now, personally, I don't know if it's because I'm good at adapting at different things, because I play different fighting games, but personally, I don't think it's a bad thing, or a thing I dislike. And I think they tried to make the specials that way, so it's like easy for the new fighting game players, which I think it's a good thing. Personally, I have no issues with the notations, so in my opinion, the notations are okay. So let's talk about the characters in a fighting game aspect. What I really like about the characters is that all the characters have their own sauce, I guess. It's like they're very different from one another. You have Brown that can freeze your opponent and has that armor mechanic. You have Darius that does insane cheap damage with the blade. You have Yasuo that has a stance with a insane amount of things. You have Eloy that she has the tentacles. But let's talk about Darius, because I feel like Darius is the only big issue that I have with the game. I feel like Darius is an issue for the game. Why? Because in my opinion, all the characters have very high execution, but Darius is an easy character, and if you fight against him, you're always in a lose-lose situation, because if you're blocking, he's gonna kill you because of the bleed mechanic, and the bleed mechanic allows him to have an insane amount of chip damage. So if you block, you lose. If he gets you, of course, he's gonna do insane amount of damage. So I feel like Darius is an issue, and it's a character that needs to be nerfed. I know it's kinda stupid actually to talk about buffs and nerfs in an alpha, but I feel like Darius is an actual issue. So basically, I very much dislike Darius because he's super easy and his mechanic is very broken. Like I said, I think it's like it's an alpha, so when it's kind of stupid to talk about nerfs and buffs. But I feel like Darius is an issue because he makes a game boring. So that's why I wanted to talk about Darius specifically. So yeah, that will be everything for today's video. My final thoughts about 2XKO is that it's a fighting game that I love already, and I'm having so much fun with it. It's a very enjoyable game. It's pretty cool. The characters, the visuals, the soundtrack, the gameplay is pretty fun. Personally, I'm very happy with 2XKO, and I can't wait for the actual game to come out. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I will see you guys in the next time. Bye bye.